Yeah, I mean, I love the Bible, right? So I'm going to bring us back to the
Right.
Bible.
Sure.
So in the Bible, there's this one of my favorite things in the Bible is the imagery of the men beating their swords into plowshares. So that's a description. The Bible has a lot of really lucid articulations of what the new world, the new earth looks like. The Bible uses all this language.
Mm,
And one of the main ways that it describes it is it creates this image, and there's beautiful imagery of it where you've got a man with a big sword that he's heated up, and he's got his hammer and he's beating that sword, and he's beating it into a plowshare. He's beating it into he's realized that through this technosphere that he's created, he's disembodied himself, and he's ended up on the dark side of nature, and he's ended up creating all these machines of war, and
yeah.
he turns that around, and he reimagines the technosphere into implements of working the land.
Wow.
And I have this image, which is I am an embodiment of this image. Actually, it's this image of, I think a lot about men. Like, men are coded to provide. We
Yeah.
are coded to provide and protect
Yeah, man.
for those that we love, for our children, for our women. We are oriented
Yeah.
on this is way beyond the mind, man.
Yeah.
This is thousands of years of evolution in our DNA.
Mm,
And we are coded, right, to
mhm.
get out there and provide and put food on the table for those that we love and care about.
Yeah.
Now, my image that I can see um, is, I think there was a time where men literally in their DNA were motivated to opt into the matrix and put on the suit and work these highly specialized, trading financial derivatives or whatever the fuck people do these days. You know, but that was actually meeting that,
Mm,
because it was bringing the money in, and the money was buying the food, and it was all connecting.
yeah.
But I don't think that this is the thing. I think there's a calculus going on the cellular level within men, and many don't even know it's happening, but they're actually doing that calculus in their head. And it's starting to become clear that that equation
Does
doesn't necessarily equate. Like
anymore.
working with your financial derivatives or your whatever the fuck you do and getting the money, and then that money, what exactly is that money going to do for you? Because
Mm,
as it starts to get inflated away, and as the agriculture system fails, and as the corrupted power structure that you've aligned yourself with
mm,
starts to carry out its next stage of its agenda, which can involve warfare, not only with foreign groups of people, but also internal warfare on
mm,
its own people for
mm,
control.
mm.
So when you start to see all of that start to buckle and start to come unstuck, it's going to be men that are going to like rip the pinstripe prison off, like rip the suit off, and like literally be dressing themselves in the clothes that you and I wear, where we're out working on the land, because that's actually how they're going to meet the deeper calling within the body and within the cellular structure that's oriented to providing food, shelter, and clothing and community for their loved ones and those that are dependent on them. So I'm
Yeah.
really interested to witness that shift. I'm witnessing that shift a lot. I'm witnessing a lot of like great, really solid men that are like stepping up and figuring all of this out and being like, I'm going to be a man that can provide for my family, but not just provide for my family by making money, provide for my family by actually doing the things that meet the basic needs of those that I love. Build a house, grow food, create community, buy land, do all of these things. I see like it really excites men. I think it excites this part of us that and it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing within the masculine. And I think that prophecy of the swords into plowshares, it really speaks to that more enlightened sacred masculine. That's like, oh, I'm not just gonna go to war. I'm not just gonna allow myself to be this like darkened version of the masculine, but I'm
Mm,
actually going to orient it and actually transmute that, like that image with the hot sword and the hammer coming down, and kind of like I'm going to remake what has become in service of darkness. I'm going to remake it through my own hard work into something that I know is going to be life sustaining. And
Mm,
that comes from the Bible, and it's a prophecy. It's a prophecy about how we get to the new earth. Because we
mm,
don't just get to the new earth by praying for Jesus to come back. We actually get to the new earth by beating swords into plowshares. And that image is also about remaking ourselves
yeah,
into what we need to be
yeah.
to
Well,
provide for our women, for our children, for our loved ones.